Hey Toolinos, I got a little tool haul here from my latest trip to Canton, Ohio. It came from my usual places and a garage sale. Let's start off with, I got this very fine distance saw. It feels like new, like it was never used. It looks like one of the later models because, let's see if you can read it, H.K. Porter. Division of H.K. Porter. So that was when it was no longer in Philadelphia. So I don't know if that makes it like an 80s model, but it's still pretty cool. Nickel plated fasteners and this kind of simplified medallion because it doesn't say Philadelphia anymore, or Philada. And then I got an old version of a distance saw, and of course the fasteners are brass and the medallion is Philada, but it's also, you could still make out the I don't know how that is etched or whatever in there. I'm not sure how well it's going to come out on the camera, but it's got the logo in there and the writing. I've always wanted to try to clean one of these up, so I have to practice a little bit and hopefully not ruin it. Next up, this fine little wood-handled flathead screwdriver. There's no markings on it, but the tip is in great shape, and it just seems like the perfect size if you have a big screw to put a lot of force on it. Next up is this drill bit, which isn't old, but I really like how it looks when it spins. And the tip is messed up, so I'm just going to try to use it to make like a spinning lawn ornament of some kind. I got this little brass connector for air hoses or something. It was free in the box. I picked up another alligator wrench. I don't know why I'm fascinated by these things. I just am. And it says manufactured by Roebling, Trenton, New Jersey. And on this side it says alligator wrench, patented February 8th, 1898. The teeth are in perfect condition. There's no chips. There's no chunks missing. It's just dirty. It says it's number 2. There's some kind of logo here. Looks like an A in a circle. Well, maybe there's some more there. AR. You could probably see it better if I clean it up. Anyway, given the age of these things, I suspect they probably work better on a square nut or a square head bolt instead of a hex. So, also the way the teeth are angled, I suspect it works better in a particular direction for tightening and then to flip it over to loosen. So that's my theory. I have to find something with good sized square nuts to try it out. Next item is a little giant threading tool. It has the adjustable die and the piece in the back to help guide. And you know, it's neat, it's old, it's cool. I probably have enough of these sort of things, but the price was right. Next up, I got a tachometer testing tool. It's really shiny. It could be shinier. Made in Michigan. There's some sort of powder, plastic dust or something inside in the gauge, and I'm assuming if I disassemble it, I'll be able to clean that thoroughly and polish the outside. And the cords are in good shape, so I bet this thing still works. So if so, it'll be a cool old tool to use in the shop. Next up is this very interesting sort of framing hammer. It's called Decker. My son looked it up already. The maker is Hart, H-A-R-T, apparently. There is a logo here on the handle that I can't really make out. Maybe I can read it on the computer. But anyway, I paid up for it, $4.75, but it's a really cool sort of framing hammer, I think. And although the one wedge is up, the head still seems perfectly tight So we'll clean it up, and I'll put this in the press and drive that wedge back down and pass that on to my son. Next up is a pair of hedge clippers. I know I see these sorts of things all the time, and there are some really awesome ones out there. Scout Crafter's done some restorations on things like this, and I never find cool ones, but this is the coolest ones I've found in a while. Yeah, the one handle's bent down, but I'm sure I can bend that back up. The ferrules look like they will shine up a nice chrome, and the blade looked interesting because on the back side it's got serrations and a notch so that you can use it to cut a thicker piece on a bush rather than just the little bits that you are typically trimming when you do hedge trimming. Now, I don't see any marks on it, but it is heavily patinaed. Put it that way. So after I clean it up, if I find some marks, we'll show that. Next up is a hammer handle that I picked up cheap, and I thought, sweet, but I didn't actually look down it. It was dark where I was. So it's all warped towards the end there, and maybe the grain's not good. So probably will not make this into a hammer handle of using the full length, but it's pretty good up to about here. So I could use the draw knife and whittle this down into something that I could use for maybe a little bit smaller size hammer with a little bit shorter handle. So I will make use of it eventually. Picked up some inexpensive 2-cycle oil for weed whackers, chainsaws, and I picked up a replacement air hose for the shop. I'm not sure if you can read that there, but it says made in USA. It was $8.75, and it does have a very interesting quick connect coupler. It has 8 of these little balls down in there to grip the connector. So I don't know if that will work with all the air hose connectors I have, but if it does, that'll be cool. It seems like extra heavy duty, extra cool. And last but not least, I picked up this 10-inch brace made by Fulton. It was $2. Honestly, when I first saw it, I thought, I've got an old one that needs the handles or the wood parts replaced. So I thought maybe I could repurpose those pieces to fix up a cooler old one, though I feel bad about taking apart a good working one, so maybe I won't. Alright, well, that's my latest little tool haul. Thanks for watching.